Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome to Raven's Roundtable. This is my Q&A type video where I answer your questions from my 1000 subscriber video. So let's just jump straight into it, shall we? First question comes from Mr. Drugger. And he asked me, what do you think of the factions in game? Do you think they are more than just the shape of your emblem? And do you think there's some sort of pride for your faction going on amongst the players? And what made you choose the Knights? Okay, at the start there was this massive, oh my god, yes, we need like this whole like pride thing, and there was a whole lot of that going around. People were really interested in the faction wars, but lately after the first round happened and the faction war, like, you know, it went through, Vikings won and everyone got like some steel and a couple of chests. People were kind of like, oh, really? And now what I've noticed is people don't really give a shit about the faction war anymore. Like, they hardly ever place like stuff. A few people do, but the majority sort of, they don't really care that much compared to at the start where everyone was really deep rooted in their factions. So I think there is for some people like a real strong sense of your faction. Like, you know, people really, I pick samurai because I only play samurai. But for the most part, yeah, I think that at the start was very much so, not so much anymore. I think people are now starting to try different characters and they're not so much rooted in their own faction. As for me choosing the Knights though, and what do I think about the whole faction war thing? I personally chose the Knights, and it's going to seem like a pretty basic reason. The reason was that I saw the Lawbringer and I'm like, I want to play Lawbringer. I was originally going to pick Samurai because I love the Orochi, but then I got to play the Orochi and everything. I still loved it, but I'm like, I really like the look of the Lawbringer and I want to play the Lawbringer. So I picked Knights, that way I could like play the Lawbringer and like represent that whole Lawbringer fantasy type thing going forward. That's the reason why I picked the Knights, is purely because the Lawbringer, he's a big chunky motherfucker and I wanted to just decimate people left, right and center. As for the faction war, I don't give, like, I understand that the rewards that they're giving, they can't make it like massive rewards and massive gains, but they do need to increase it somewhat if they want people to give any sort of like shits about this faction war. Because right now, a couple things of steel and a couple crates, like scavenger crates, it's just not going to cut it if you want people to like seriously play this as a second sort of mini game and pick where they want to go with their resources and stuff, and come together to say, like, you know, push into the samurai faction or the Vikings or Knights or whatever. You have to give them incentive. If they don't really have a good reason for it, they're not going to do it. So thank you so much for that question, Mr. Drugger. Next is from Rowdy Games, and he asks, where in Australia are you from? What do you do for work? And what is your favorite WoW spec at the minute? Alright guys, so the first one I will answer is where am I from in Australia. So I'm currently living in Melbourne, Victoria. I have only ever lived in Melbourne. I've traveled up to Sydney and a whole bunch of other places around Australia, but yeah, I've always just been in Melbourne. I haven't really gone anywhere else apart from that. I've been overseas a couple times, but yeah, pretty much it's all just been here. Next is what do I do for work? I am currently a security guard. I've been working at clubs and pubs for many years, all around basically Melbourne where I live. I've pretty much done everything. I've worked events, I've done supervised for a while, run like entire venues, and I am currently working at one of the universities here. So I'm a security guard at one of the universities. I do night shift there, so yeah, I've been doing night shift for a very long time. So yeah, I'm a kind of like reverse from everyone else. I sleep during the day, work during the night, stay up at night. It's good shit. It's hard work, but hey, when you, like I said, you get to meet lots of people, you get to talk to a whole bunch of people. Yes, though, some of it is very shit because most people that I deal with are drunk or on drugs, and of course we all know that when that happens, shit can get bad very quick. But for the majority of the part, it's a very fucking cool job and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And as for what is my favorite World of Warcraft spec at the moment, that one's quite hard. I've been playing the Rogue a lot lately. Like, I love playing my Rogue, but I recently picked up Protection Warrior and I'm actually really liking the Protection Warrior, how it's playing right now. Get some of that ignore pain cheese going on, but overall I'd have to say it's either Assassination Rogue or Protection Warrior, and I'm leaning a little bit more towards Protection Warrior just because I'm playing it right now a lot. But yeah, it's definitely between those two currently. Thank you so much for asking those questions, Rowdy Games. Up next is a question from the dude, and he says Star Wars or Star Trek. I haven't really ever gotten into Star Trek. I watched a little bit of it, but for me personally, Star Wars fucking hands down. I absolutely fucking love the Star Wars universe. I love everything about it. It is probably like out of all the universes and stuff, it's probably my most favorite one, just because I love like just Sith. I like, for me it's the Old Republic, so like, you know, the MMO, like that era of Star Wars. I'm fucking all about when there were fuck tons of Sith, fuck tons of Jedi, bounty hunters everywhere. Like, it was really hectic in the way that everything was going on. I do like the later movies, but at the same time, they've sort of, like I said, there's a lot less Jedi and Sith around, and there's also a lot less just everything, and it's more just your Han Solos running around. It's okay, but I liked the prequels, Clone Wars and stuff, just because that's when it was so fucking cool. Like, there was mass Jedi everywhere, mass Sith, and it was just, that's why I love Star Wars. Lightsabers, I love the Sith so much. And you put bounty hunters in there, like Boba Fett is one of my most favorite characters. You put like bounty hunters in there as well, and I just love the whole universe and style of it all. But yeah, Star Wars wins hands down for me. I just never got into Star Trek. I don't know why. It was just too slow for me, and just the whole mythos of the whole thing just didn't really do it for me. So the dude, thank you so much for that question. And lastly, we have one from Automatic World, who asked, what is your favorite game of all time? That is a hard one. Holy shit, I've been playing so many games for quite a long time. Like, as a kid, me and my brother, we would just play games all the fucking time. We just played heaps of shit. But all time, I would have to go with Vanilla WoW. Like, as much as I've had so much fun with so many different games, Vanilla WoW for me was the first time ever that it was nothing like that had ever been around. You had RuneScape and stuff, but then again, like I said, it was the first time that I was able to step into this giant, massive fucking world that was completely open, and there was just all these races. I love the lore of Vanilla WoW, just World of Warcraft in general, but the fact that you could just play as, like, when I saw that intro cinematic and there was a dwarf on top of like Ironforge with his bear and everything, I was in tears. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I was like in tears when I very first saw that cinematic. I was just like, holy shit, this is like one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. And I know from anyone who's not like a gamer, they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you weird guy? You're crying over like pixels. But like, holy shit, like, I never felt anything like that before, because it was something so new, so fresh, and the possibilities at the time were just endless. And to me, it's just playing with all my friends and my brother, and just all of it, nothing can compare, and I don't think nothing will ever compare to that again, except for maybe when we get virtual reality, like proper deep dive virtual reality, and I can actually like lie down on a bed, put on a headset, and be teleported, like my mind be teleported into this virtual world. That will probably be the next time that I will feel something like that again. But I've played so many great games, but Vanilla WoW, for the very first time, like when I played it, takes the cake. Nothing's going to compare to that for me. So guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much to everyone who asked some questions. Thank you so much to everyone who is checking out the video and checked out my 1,000 subscriber video as well. If anyone brand new is watching and you want to ask any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and ask a question. I will be happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
Can't